Hi, welcome back. It's Justine again, and we're going to talk about our organic garden again. And what we're going to talk about is planting the garden. This is my favorite part of the gardening. My husband says I'm crazed, and I start on January 1st when I don't have anything else to do. Christmas is all over with, and it's time to plan my garden. My garden catalogs come in, and now it's game on. So I get all excited. I know in the past we've discussed about soil testing, so I thought I'd show you a couple of things that I've used. I use this little rapid test soil test kit. It tests your pH of your garden. That's very important, and it shows exactly what you need for your garden. You don't want the soil to be too acidic or too alkaline. You have to have that nice balance depending on what you're going to grow. And then you have your nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And when you look at fertilizers, you'll see that NPK on the fertilizer tag. And that designates your nitrogen, your phosphorus, and your potassium. This cute little rapid soil test actually comes with a handy dandy guide with it. And it kind of gives you an idea of some of the different things that your soil may need. What I did a little over a year ago, almost 2 years ago now I notice, is I actually ordered this Soil Savvy analysis report, and I actually did a small sampling from all 13 of my garden beds. So I took a little sample of each of them, otherwise you get charged on each one of them. And it tells you what your garden is deficient of and what it has excess of, which I never realized how high my soil was and in an unhealthy range, and also the ones that were too low, so I knew how to balance it out. It also gives you an idea on synthetic fertilizer, and obviously I hone right in on that organic fertilizer and what to use, because obviously I was deficient in nitrogen, and nitrogen is very important in my garden. You need a lot of that for my garden. So I was real happy when I had this done. Oh, here's my nitrogen. Look at this. So there's your nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Look at this nitrogen, how deficient I was. So I was able to correct that in my garden. So it's real important to check those things because, as you can see, that would not yield me a good garden. I also have a couple other little tools that I use. This is just a moisture meter, but I like this little guy. And it's out in my shed, and it's too cold out there for me to go out. I'm being a princess tonight, and I didn't want to go out. But this also tests on your light and your water, and it's a fabulous little device. I love this darn thing. It's a soil tester, and I've had it for quite a few years. So it's my handy dandy little tool. Once I know what my garden needs. I have it all set. Now my favorite part, planting it. Very important to plan it. Remember we talked about the sun, how it rises in the east, sets in the west. Pay attention to how the sun lays in your garden, because you want your taller plants in the back and your shorter ones in the front so it gets adequate light. I have my nice little notebook. I bought this, oh God, years ago. Just a little, recycled paper notebook. But what I like, it's all gridded. And so I have a grid. And every year I mark my garden. And I moved into this house in 2015, so the very first garden I did were the 7 boxes that I did. I document what's in there because you need to rotate your crops. You can't grow the same thing in the same place every year. Otherwise, you'll make your soil deficient. And it's good to rotate your crops. Very much rotate the crops. I have all my handy dandy little drawings over here. And then the following year, I did the other 6 boxes. My front boxes in the front part of my garden are 6 feet by 3 feet, and they're all made of cedar. My ones in the back are 12 feet by 4 feet, also made of cedar. I have some of these that are double height, and those are good for my root crops, and these are all single height. Every year I document what I've planted where, and I make little notations as to what did well and what didn't do well, so I can actually write down what I should do and what I shouldn't do. Some needs and ideas, that was 2017, but every year I do the same thing, and that was 2018, and then 2019, and then we have 2020, And then, of course, 2021 is in the midst of planning. Here it is. So we had, and notice it's all nice and neat because nothing's planted yet. I put little reminders on the bottom of what I want to grow. Some things I have still a lot of excess of vegetable-wise in my freezer and on my canning shelf. I have a beautiful 12-foot bed of asparagus. I'm going to take you out there probably tomorrow or the day after and harvest some asparagus. It's looking so pretty right now that I can't wait to harvest it. So once you kind of plan your garden, best way to plan it is, I'm sure all of you have gotten some garden books. These are my favorites. Gardens Alive is my favorite organic garden book. And I order from a local garden seed company, and it's right here in Rochester, New York. And it's Harris Seeds, and Fruition Seeds is about 45 minutes from me in Naples. And these both companies are the ones I use the most for organic because they're local and I know that they've tested these seeds in my area. I've purchased seeds. As you can see, this is my seed box. It has all different goodies in it, and I have all my fabulous seeds, and vegetables are on this side, herbs are here, and flowers are here. So I try to keep everything separate. If I don't find the seeds that I want in any of the organic catalogs, I will cross over and I will grow them organically, but I'll buy them from different catalogs that I've received in the mail. So sometimes you can get some nice organic fertilizers from them, and different things that can be used. Today I ordered, it was, if you notice, it was the last day of the sale was today, $4.25. So I ordered, where is it now? Oh, here it is. So some soap shield with liquid copper, and as you can see, it's good for organic gardening. So I always make sure I buy things that are acceptable for organic gardening. I do not want to use anything that isn't, because we eat everything right off the vine. Oh, the house smells so good today because we saw those tomatoes. And what I did is made a nice marinara from last year. So this is going to be tonight's dinner, is the marinara with that delicious spaghetti squash that was from last year as well. So we're just going to put it together, and that's what happens when you have a fabulous organic garden. You can have an amazing dinner right afterwards. So have fun planning your garden. Keep in mind your taller plants in the back, your shorter plants in the front. Give them enough space in between, and as the garden season goes on, you'll be able to see how we're going to make it all work and be so efficient, and you're going to have a huge yield in your garden. Hope this helped you. Have a great night.